Craig here. Well, today we're going to make a batch of wine. Now, I've done red wine before and white wine, and I have a video on my channel of me making a batch of white wine, showing you through the steps of that. Today we're going to make something a little bit different. It's going to be more of a fruity style wine. We're going to make it from one of these kits. Now, this is a Wine Expert wine kit. What this is, it's the juice from the grapes or the fruit that you would normally grow in your vineyard if you had a vineyard. Somebody has already done that for us, and they've condensed the juice down into a bag in here, which we're going to then add water to and make actual wine. This is, I tell you, my wife and I went to their homebrew shop the other day. We had the opportunity to have a tiny sample of this, and I was so impressed. It was delicious. And although I'm not a big fan of these sweeter wines, my wife is, and instead of her going to the store and paying $10 or $20 for a bottle of wine, this $70 box will make 30 bottles of wine. So that's about just over $2 a bottle. And I promise you, it is excellent quality wine. It's a Twisted Mist Strawberry Margarita. Okay, it looks a lot like this particular one right here. It's very fruity, very sweet, 12% alcohol. Well, let's take a look and see what you do with this and what's inside the box. These wine kits are basically about, the same. There's slight differences between them depending on the style of wine, but you can make all kinds of different styles, and it's easy to do. I'm just going to move this over. The first thing that I'm going to put out, and it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be different for every kit. These are the instructions. These instructions are a cinch to follow. You can't go wrong. There is nothing you can do to mess this kit up. My first wine kit that I did was beautiful. So you do have your instructions. You do have a bag. There's some things in here. There's some Red Star yeast. There's some different packages of things that you have to add to the wine along the way as it ferments and as it settles out. This procedure takes about 4 weeks. They're numbered, and you just add them to the wine when it tells you to in the instructions. We also have the labels. Okay, you can stick these on your bottles if you like, make them look nice. Okay, and then we have a one bladder here. This here is a flavored concentrate. This is what's going to make it into the strawberry margarita. And finally, I won't take it out just yet. I'll just show you there. There's a bladder containing probably grape juice or some sort of fruit juice that we're going to use to make this wine. This is a concentrate, so when we add the water to it, we're going to end up with 5 gallons of what's called must, which is what it's called before it's fermented. Okay, so we have all that, and it's a cinch. Okay, I'm going to very briefly go through the equipment you're going to need to do this. If you have a homebrew supplier locally, they will be able to tell you what equipment you'll need. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. If you have to order it online, I'm going to put a bunch of links in the more info section to so you can order these products directly and have them just shipped right to you, and they'll all be there, so you'll have them all. You need a plastic food grade fermenter, 5 gallon, with a lid, and it's got to have a hole in it. The hole is for the airlock, which goes there, and that allows gas to escape from the wine while it's fermenting without letting any air, foreign air or germs to get in here and ruin your wine, okay? So that's the fermentation system right there. You're also going to need a secondary fermenting device. It's called a carboy, and you can get plastic ones or glass. A lot of people prefer plastic, and I just have glass. It doesn't matter. These are heavier than plastic, but you need this because at some point you've got to siphon the wine from the fermenter into the carboy. It's a simple procedure. The instructions will tell you when to do it. Okay, so you need a carboy, and you need a siphon, an auto siphon of some sort. This is what I use. you'll see me using this later on, but you can get ones where you pump it, and, you know, whatever one you want to get, doesn't matter, as long as you can draw the wine out of the fermenter and siphon it into the carboy when necessary. Okay, so that's that. You need something to stir it with. Okay, you need thermometers. I have a digital thermometer here. Let's move these aside. I have a regular thermometer. You can get, you know, the digital one if you want. They're a little more accurate. And you can get, you need a hydrometer. You don't need a hydrometer, but it's very, very recommended because the instructions will rely on this, the readings coming from this, to tell you whether it's time to move to the next step or not in the process. These are not hard to use. You put a sample of wine in here and you take a reading and you just follow the instructions. I have a video on my channel, CraigTube, this is the channel, and the video talks all about hydrometers and how to use them and why we use them. Very detailed video, good stuff there for you to learn. Okay, you're going to need, you know, measuring cup, some corks. You're going to need about 30 corks. You can get those from your supplier. Okay, and the only other thing you're going to need, well, you're going to need sanitizer. These kits generally recommend sodium metabisulfite as the sanitizer. That's just what they recommend, and so that's what I use when I make wine. Okay, you can get this for a couple of dollars at your homebrew supplier, and it's a powder. You mix it with water, and it lasts a long time. You can reuse it. Okay, and you need I don't know if you can see this. It's over here. I don't want to move it, but it's a corker, a wine corker. Basically, it forces the corks into the wine bottles, and you're going to need a bunch of wine bottles. Some of mine are looking a little shabby, but as long as you can get these, I think they're 750 milliliter wine bottles. You can probably get them from a restaurant or something like that near you. They probably just give them to you. Not a big deal there. You're going to need about 30 of those, and the corks to go with them. So the corker will help you, you know, bottle your wine when it's time to do that. Well, that's the equipment. That's the kit. I guess now it's time for us to actually start to make the wine. Okay, so now you can hear my water heater is running because I just finished sanitizing and rinsing the equipment I'm going to need for this portion of the procedure. And I'm going to take this over there and put about a gallon of hot water in here. Just about that much hot water. Okay? This is not really, really crucial, the amount that we put in here, as long as it's, you know, 2 or 3 inches of water. That's all we need for now. We're going to take our package number 1. It's numbered. Very easy. It's bentonite. We're going to add this to the water. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add it very slowly and stir it while we're adding it with our sanitized stirrer. Now this stuff will clump a little bit if you're not careful, so you want to add it slowly and keep stirring it. Okay, make sure it all gets in there. We're going to stir this for about 30 seconds just to make sure that it all gets dissolved and evenly distributed throughout the water. Okay, so that's that. Now what we're going to do is grab the bladder of juice that we've got down here. Smells good. What I do is I just grab it by the sort of the scruff of the neck, just like that, and you just pour it right in here. Take it and add some hot water to it just to rinse out the bag so we get all the juice out of it. And then add that in here as well. Okay, I mean this couldn't get any simpler. I mean, God. Amazing. Now, what you need to do now is take this over to your sink and add water to it until it comes up to the 23 liter mark, or 5 gallons, 5 imperial gallons. So that's what I'm going to do. See you over there. We're going to make sure our temperature is between 22 and 24 Celsius here, around 74 Fahrenheit. So this is the first stage. It's very easy. You just follow those simple instructions. The next parts of this video are basically going to be me adding these, these things to the wine at certain times according to the instructions. At one point, I'm going to siphon it from the fermenter into a carboy, and it's really mundane and easy. And at the end, you're going to have a product that you're going to love, and it's going to cost you very, very little. $2.10 a bottle for a good bottle of wine. I don't think you can complain about that. So I'm going to wait 10 days, let this ferment out, and then we're going to move to the next step, which is to siphon it into a carboy. Okay, it's been 10 days, and now it's time to siphon the wine from the primary fermenter into the secondary carboy. And the important thing here is to put the hose all the way down to the bottom of the carboy, so when the wine goes in, it doesn't splash all over the place. You don't want to introduce any oxygen into the wine at this point. I'm using an auto siphon that I purchased from my local homebrew supplier, Complete Home Brewing. And as you can see, the wine is gently filling into the bottom of the carboy and not splashing around. The reason why we're doing this is we want to get the wine off of the sediment. During the 10 days of fermentation, there will have been an accumulation of sediment at the bottom of the fermenter. As you'll see here, as I tip the fermenter to get the last bit of wine, you'll see the sediment at the bottom there. We want to leave that behind. And at this point, that's all we need to do. Just siphon it into the carboy, and we're going to leave it like this for another 10 days in order to allow it to finish fermenting. Okay, here we are on day 20, and the wine has completely fermented. And now it's time to add the other packages that came with the kit. These packages are potassium metabisulfite, which will help to prevent oxidation and off flavors in the wine. And package number 3 is potassium sorbate, which will act as an antimicrobial agent, killing off any bugs and preventing further fermentation. And package number 4, which is a fining agent that will help to clear the wine. The instructions tell you exactly how and when to add these. So I've put about half a cup of warm water in a sanitized measuring cup. And I'm going to add the potassium metabisulfite, which will basically sanitize the water. And then the potassium sorbate also goes in here. And you want to give this a good stir to make sure that everything is dissolved. And then we're going to add this to the wine. Now you notice the wine is not red yet because we haven't added the flavor pack yet. That comes in last.
And with this particular kit, you stir the wine so that the sediment that develops during the secondary fermentation actually reincorporates itself back into the wine. And finally, we want to degas the wine, which is to remove any trapped CO2 that might prevent clearing. This is a drill attachment that you can get. You don't absolutely need one of these, but it does make it a lot easier and quicker and more effective to do this. I would recommend doing this for about 2 minutes to make sure all the CO2 is forced out of the wine. Okay, the last thing we add to the wine is the fining agent. And this will help to clear the wine. This will take about 8 days to clear, and then we're ready to bottle. In 8 days, the wine will go from this to this. So now it's clear and we're ready to prepare it for bottling. Sanitize 30 750 milliliter bottles and any other equipment you're going to require to bottle your wine. In this case, we have to mix in a flavor packet, so we're going to need to use a fermenter with a spigot so that we can mix the flavor packet with the wine and then bottle the wine. I'm using sodium metabisulfite in my bottle cleaner here to sanitize the bottles. And now that everything is sanitized, we can start our siphon. Give our flavor packet a good shake. And then we add it to our existing wine. And this is the strawberry margarita part. Be sure to get every drop. I usually fill all the bottles first, and then I go back around and place the corks on. Well, now that wasn't so hard. Throw some ingredients together, let it ferment, add some packages when the instructions tell you to, and a month later you've got this beautiful wine. You can see the label. They give you labels you can stick on. So you can give these away as gifts at Christmas time or whatever. Now I already know
basically what this tastes like because I already tasted a sample at the home brew shop. But let's see if I was able to achieve the same results. Because the one thing about these wine kits is that they're very consistent. They work out the same usually every time. You can see it's not perfectly clear. It's not supposed to be. Okay. This is one of many different wines that you can make. Anyways, you don't have to let this one age. As soon as you bottle it, you can drink it. Some of the other wines are a little bit better after they age for a while. But this one here, we're pretty much ready to go. As soon as we bottle, let's give it a go. Smells great. Cheers. Sorry, I just laughed because you'd pay about 20 bucks for a bottle of this in the liquor store, and it's, you know, I'm not usually partial to these sweeter wines, but this one here, it's not just sugary sweet, it has a body to it, a fruitiness to it. It's slightly thicker than normal wines as far as the mouthfeel goes. So this is a great thing. You can do lots of things with these things. You can make slushies, you can put it on ice, you can mix it with club soda or carbonated water, make yourself a little carbonated shandy. Lots of stuff you can do with this wine, and it tastes, as far as I remember, it tastes the same as it did at the home brew shop, so it's pretty much foolproof. I don't think you can go wrong. I would recommend this to anybody. Twisted Mist Strawberry Margarita. This is, again, made by Wine Expert. They have a website you can go to. I did pay for this. There's the price tag, in case anyone wonders. This is not a product review. It's just showing you how you can make wine easily at home, different kinds of wine, not just red and white, but lots of fruity wines too. And I know my wife is going to love this. She hasn't tasted it yet. And you know what? At $2 a bottle, yeah, I think pretty much speaks for itself. So anyways, thanks for watching. I hope that introduces you into the winemaking field. Go out and get yourself a wine kit. Make some wine. Cheers.